Everybody, it is Josh and Ben.
Hi.
And before you watch this video, please don't forget to subscribe and like to our channel. And today I thought it'd be kind of cool to go over, because we get asked all the time where to go, what should people do at nighttime. And a lot of people come to West Hollywood for the
gay bars.
What else?
And the nightclubs.
The nightclubs, the nightlife. So I thought we kind of give you a rundown of all the bars, of what they're like, what you expect. But before I do that, I kind of want to tell you a little bit of history about West Hollywood and gay life here in WeHo, because I came out of the closet in 1991.
Wow.
Shh. Okay, we'll leave it at that, man. Don't be sarcastic.
Yeah, I was barely alive.
And the gay scene was very different. Here's some really interesting things that would happen in West Hollywood. First of all, West Hollywood, all the gay bars, none of them had windows. In fact, most people, when they lined up, every bar had a line, and whatever bar you went to, that's where you kind of spent the entire night. You weren't going to wait another hour somewhere else to get to another bar unless you knew the door guy. And this is really interesting. Today, you go out to a bar and you see people kind of basically buried in their cell phones and taking video and pictures.
Yes.
You'll see groups of friends at bars saying that nobody's talking to each other, just on their phones. So
Or they might run you over because they're on your phone.
But back in those days, if you took a picture in a gay bar, it would say, if you take a picture, you are 86. They would actually kick you out of gay bars because people were so scared of being outed in those days at bars.
And now it's like a quinceañera to come out.
Another interesting thing is that back in those days, if you saw somebody you liked, you literally you had to talk to them, because the chances of you ever running into that person again were very, very unlikely. You couldn't go on like a Grindr app if you're a single person looking for a hookup. You couldn't go on Tinder if you're looking for dating. You literally had to have the courage to talk to somebody. And back then, all the bars had paper and pencils, because people actually had to write down their landline phone numbers.
Landline. Wow.
I don't know. I just thought it was pretty cool. It's just how the whole
Wait, so when they call it, what happened? Your mom would pick up, and then what would happen?
So nasty this way.
I mean, landline.
Yeah, no, it was the people were really afraid to be seen at gay bars. It was this is how far we've come. People want to post on social media, but okay, enough a little about the gay history. Let's get into why you're probably watching this. What gay bars to go to in West Hollywood, and let's just start off. Just so you know, if I count the two restaurants, there's about 15 different spots, all next to each other. Like you could go from one bar to the next bar to the next bar to the next bar. So
yes, stumble away.
That's why one of my videos I said, I don't know if it was the last video, but we did a thing about hotels. I tell people, stay in West Hollywood, because most likely, especially if you're a gay traveler, you're going to end up in West Hollywood every night you're here if you like to go out.
Or a girl that loves gay guys.
Mm-hmm.
Stay in West Hollywood. Don't stay in the dangerous area.
Yeah. And so you have basically, a bar crawl here. And I don't think there's a lot of places left in the country that have this, that have all these different venues really door to door to door. So the first place, if you want to start off your night and you want to start off with a very strong drink, I'm going to tell you, go to Motherlode.
Yes, that's kind of like our favorite one.
So if you want to start off with a stiff one and you don't want to spend a lot in your first drink, go to Motherlode. Motherlode, the interesting thing about Motherlode, the interior of it is literally, that was the third gay bar I went to in my entire life. It looks exactly like it did in 1993. And I had a fake ID back then.
1893. When Josh
I said 1993. Nasty. McNasty or table one's ready.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Motherlode's a great place to start. The crowd is an older crowd, mixed with some young people who are there for their first drink, second drink, maybe forget their night. But it's a great place to go and start your evening. And then from there, I would really push you to then, jump over to the Abbey Chapel. That's another great place to go.
That's like a destination place. So there may be a line. So go there earlier than later, because the line will only get longer.
And the cool part about the Abbey Chapel is that if you enter the chapel side, you can go between the Abbey and chapel once you're inside.
Yeah.
So there's an Abbey line, there's a chapel line, and the drinks, just like Motherlode, I'm going to be honest with you, they're pretty stiff there.
Yes.
So just like Motherlode, if you didn't want to go to a dive bar, like a historically looking dive bar, you can just skip it and go straight to the Abbey, and they'll pour you a really stiff one as well.
Yes. Go say hi to our friend Lauren. She works right in the middle of the two bars.
She works, yeah. She works
Right
in the back
between-
middle.
Yeah, in the back middle, right between Abbey and Chapel. I think that's considered Abbey though, right? Where she's at.
Yeah, that's Abbey. Now, really interesting thing about the Abbey, historically, so the Abbey actually was originally across the street from its current location, and it was just a coffee shop. And then where it is now, it moved over to where it is now, and it was also just a coffee shop. And David Cooley, who is a great community member, very nice man, he's very supportive of fun, like charitable events, cancer, and different things. A lot of people don't know that about him, but he does support a lot of causes. They used to have in the back, it was like a poetry reading. They would have different things that you would expect in the 90s of coffee shops. And it always had that beautiful dessert bar and food. But then he added that bar. That first bar at the Abbey that he added was when you walk into the Abbey, into the courtyard, the first outdoor courtyard, that little bar, that was the first bar.
Oh, the one to the right?
When you walk in that little bar that's there,
Yeah.
that's the first bar he had. And it was that. I personally believe that David Cooley is responsible, and I don't hear people talking about this, but he's responsible for transforming how West Hollywood has stayed. Because what happened after that, so when he started that, people flocked to the Abbey because they loved being outside and drinking. And nobody else had it.
Yes.
Mickey's had closed shutters. Rage had closed shutters. There was no patios. Nobody wanted to be seen outside. But everybody started recognizing that, wow, people really want to, be on a patio drinking.
The gays love to day drink. That's where it began, guys, in 1991 or whenever.
But I really believe that one little bar that he opened up turned into this huge space. And the chapel was another bar that he took over. And the very right side where the dance floor, that actually used to be part of the statue shop. So, I mean, he took over multiple spaces to create this environment that's there. And I truly believe that if he didn't do that, I'm not sure West Hollywood would have been, because the main club at that time was Studio One, and it was a dying venue. It was basically going into a warehouse, dancing in a warehouse with no windows.
I remember that, yes.
Yeah. So you got
My
to.
generation called it something different.
Yeah.
I forgot what it was called, but we didn't call it Studio One.
But he really took a risk, and good for David Cooley, man. He really changed the way. I think he made West Hollywood much better, because everybody else followed suit. The shutters came down. People started trying to have their own little patios. Mm-hmm. So, anyways, definitely recommend going to Abbey. As Ben said, it's a destination.
It is a destination, so once again, there is a line. And I'm just going to add something in really fast, since it is a destination and there are a lot of girls that like to go there. So my tip for girls is don't wear heels and don't wear sandals to West Hollywood. Okay. You might think that's cute, and it is cute. It's a cute outfit. But if you wear sandals, someone will step on you and probably bruise your toe. And if you wear heels, you will trip on some stairs.
And for some of the people out there, I know in our community that some of the people get upset when straight girls come to the gay bars. I love it because
I love girls.
I love it. Do you?
Are
you bi?
I'm coming out as straight, actually. I love girls.
But this is what we fought for. My generation, we fought for inclusion and be included. And there was a time that nobody would come to a gay bar. So I welcome it. Please keep coming. And for those of you who forgot about it, we fought for this inclusion.
Yep.
So now we have it.
And my third tip, girls, if someone buys you a drink and you don't know who they are, do not drink it.
Especially if you didn't see it get poured.
Yes.
Even then.
There's actually these little testers that some bars have, like Gym Bar that we will probably talk about soon. They have these little things where you could drop your drink or a drop of your drink into a little tester thing, and it will tell you there's a roofie in it. So do that. And if it comes out positive, call the police.
Mm-hmm. And so I'm not going to spend a lot of time in these next two bars. There's Beaches WeHo. It's a beautiful venue. I don't have a lot of experience going there, but it's always busy, and people seem to love it. So
they've recently gotten busy. They've thrived during the pandemic, during the outdoor environment.
Yeah. And there's Rocco's. Rocco's is also a good place that Lance Bass was an investor on. Mm-hmm. That building that Rocco's in used to be a Citibank building, and Citibank moved out, and he moved in, or Rocco's moved in.
Darn him. Now we have to go to the Grove to get to the nearest Citibank.
So there's Rocco's, there's Beaches, both great venues, but I haven't spent a lot of time there, to be honest with you.
I would say Rocco's has good music if you want to dance, and if you really like Latin music, Rocco is the place to be. They have really great Latin music.
Oh, and I skipped over. I didn't mean to. Vanner the Pump, but
Shady. Just kidding.
and what's interesting about Pump is, so for those of you who are watching this, Pump used to be a taco shop, like a Mexican fast food place for years. I used to love it when it was out, and it had where the outdoor patios that was parking. It was where people would go there to park to pick up their quick meal from the fast food place, and then it turned into multiple venues after that. And Pump's the only thing that has seemed to have succeeded in that spot.
Yes.
And I recently went there for their happy hour, and I will say this: we are friends. I don't go there. I just think it's a little expensive and pricey for what it is. But the happy hour was reasonably priced,
Yeah, and their food was really
the
good.
food was good. It wasn't really good. It was good bar food.
Yeah, it's good bar food.
Yeah.
That's what I mean by really good.
And the drinks were it was actually a nice mixed drink, like
Yeah,
a mixologist.
They had specialty drinks. They don't taste strong, but they are quite strong. Hence the mixologist, like they balanced it really well. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we're moving on. We're gonna go across the street. Our newest bar is one called Stash WeHo. I went in there a couple of times.
I went in there once when they first opened.
It's a great place. It's always packed, busy. Not my cup of tea, but this is the beauty of WeHo. You see, like all these places are great. Like I'm glad that Stash seems to be doing really well.
Yeah.
And if you don't like something, like I'm not really into Stash, but you can just walk next door to the Bayou.
We might be into it one day because we have not really gone in there.
No. So you can go from Stash to Bayou. Now Bayou is the smallest little hole-in-the-wall bar. It tends to be really young.
And crowded.
And crowded, not my scene, but, and Stash seems to be early 30s, late 20s.
Still young.
And then there's, of course, High Tops. I actually really like High Tops. It's a sports bar.
High tops where there are no tops.
I
Just
go
kidding.
there.
Well, point proven.
Wow. I always say this. Without bottoms, us tops are useless.
Oh, well.
But there's High Tops. It's a nice sports bar. You can eat and drink there. The food's actually pretty decent. The drinks are
the food
decent.
is really good.
Yeah.
Their nachos are really good. Yeah.
The service is good. So these bars are like literally all next to each other. So I always say, like when people say, I always tell them where I recommend. Like I said, start at Motherload. I like the Chapel Abbey. I always go to High Tops. And then if you didn't like High Tops, you walk in. You're like, hey, this is not my scene, not my crowd. You just walk a little bit over, and there's Jim's Sports Bar.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's a lot of local. So it seems like Jim attracts a lot of local gays.
Gym bar, yes.
Yeah. And
yeah.
Go ahead and say.
Oh, I was gonna say that's also one of our favorites. We always go there as well. They do play a lot of sports on their television screens. Baseball, football, drag race, because that's a sport now. But yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
It is.
So this gym bar, their prices
Sachet.
are relatively cheap. Strong drinks. The good part is that you don't. I really tell people just have a drink one place and go to the next. You're here on vacation. You don't live here, so there's no reason for you to plant your feet at one bar for the whole evening. Just keep walking around.
And the drinks at Gym Bar, they're strong because they give you a lot. Unlike the other bars where they pour a ton of ice in, Gym Bar doesn't pour as much ice as the rest, so you're definitely getting the bang for your buck. And you might bang into a blackout, but that's what you're into.
Yeah. And then, of course, there's Lance Bass's new club. It's called Heart WeHo. He actually took over the old Rage nightclub space. He did a beautiful job remodeling it. I think he spent a lot of money trying to make it look good for us. And
it took forever.
It took forever. That's the city of West Hollywood's fault.
Yeah.
I
believe it.
It literally is what the old West Hollywood was like. It's really about going there to dance. If you're going to Heart WeHo, you want to dance and shake your booty all night long.
They say they have the biggest dance floor in West Hollywood, which I think might be true if you don't think of the Abbey, where the Abbey has 2 dance floors. I guess Heart does have the biggest singular dance floor.
Yeah, they have the biggest singular dance floor, yeah.
So,
And they have 2 dance floors. They have a second story back dance floor, and they have a bottom dance floor as well.
Yes.
But definitely check out Heart WeHo. I think they, Lance, support, I always say support all the bars. They're trying to create jobs and make a nice gay environment and a fun nightlife environment, even for the straight people who come. And moving right along, I don't know if you're getting tired, but this is how much we have here. We have so many bars to go to. not enough time and lots of drinks to do. So there's Fiesta Cantina if you're looking for some nachos and some nice margaritas. Go to
Some
Fiesta.
big margaritas, mega size margaritas, and sweet tea. I used to be
Yeah.
really into their sweet tea. Also
Yeah.
comes in a mega size. And if you like to watch UFC like Josh does, that's also they also play it.
Yeah, if you're in the Ultimate Fighting Championship, UFC is definitely on every pay-per-view card and all the regular cards.
Nicki Minaj will be singing in the background,
Mm-hmm.
or Miley Cyrus, so you will not be hearing any of the critiques. But if you want to see some bloody fighting, it's there.
Yeah, and if you get tired of Cantina, you can go next door to Mickey's WeHo. There are also 2 floors on Mickey's.
Yeah.
That's a very Mickey's and Motherlode and Abbey are some of the older gay bars that have been around for a very long time. I'm not going to spend too much time in Mickey's. I don't really go there, but it's like the rest of them. Go in, check it out.
Mm-hmm.
If it's on the weekend, Mickey's plays this weird game of charging cover. I'm not sure why.
Yes.
But
they are open till like 4 a.m.
4
I
a.m.,
think they're
yeah.
open the longest. I remember Mickey's when I was like younger, like when I first turned 18 or whatever. It was really dark, like Josh was saying before the mysterious remodel with the mysterious fire. We know what happened, Mickey's. Don't get loud. But they did remodel. But yeah, I remember it from back in the day. It was really like what Josh described, like a shack.
It was like, nobody wanted to be seen. It was very dark. They always had, when you got to last call and the lights turned on, sometimes...
You were like, oh, great, this is who I was dancing with. It was a girl the whole time. Just kidding.
And finally, but not least, my old... when they used to have pool tables there, I used to go play pool because I'm a very good pool player. Trunks, which used to hold the gay pool league, but no longer has pool tables. It's a dive bar. It honestly hasn't changed the interior for years. It smells like a typical dive bar.
Sticky.
Cheap drinks. Nice people work there. The owner, Waddle's a great guy, and they're doing quite well. So if you want to check that out, check it out. But like I said, look, I'm exhausted. There's a lot of bars here.
There are a lot of bars. We might be missing one. Who knows?
When
But Josh did do a lot of research. Oh, Revolver. We missed Revolver.
Revolver. So Revolver would be when you were going to Mickey's, you have to pass Revolver. That also, historically, that Revolver in the old days, actually, it still has a revolving door, but there was no windows. You could not see inside the Revolver because people back in the old... Now everybody wants to see. They have a patio. They have windows. They don't do the... They used to do, like, I forgot, they used to do the karaoke, I think, in the old days, and they used to have, like, the... like show tunes and stuff there,
And
but
they have like a second floor.
no,
That's not open
they have a
anymore.
back. They have a back room and a under.
So Revolver turned into this bar called East West. Then they converted the back area into a tequila bar. East West was unfortunately not successful, and then turned back into Revolver. And now I heard that there's a rumor, here's some tea, that Flaming Saddles might be taking over the Revolver spot.
Oh yeah, I did hear that rumor. Yeah.
For those of you who are like, oh my God, Flaming Saddles didn't make the pandemic. Well, surprise, they might have made it after all.
Yeah, Revolver. I definitely like Revolver. They used to have. I haven't really spent a lot of time there lately, but anyhow, I hope you like the kind of overlay of the bars. It's kind of like I call it college. It's called like pub crawl. You don't have to. Once you get there, just move
Literally
around.
crawl. You can. I have seen people crawl like on off hours from one bar to another. They just had one too many strong drinks, turned to the side, threw up, and then kept on going. Make sure the bouncer doesn't see you throw up though, because they will not let you in.
Yeah. Anyways, that's all I got to say about the gay bars and what to do. I hope if you come to West Hollywood, you have a great time, and don't forget to subscribe.
And like and comment, and yeah, let us know what else you want to hear us talk about during our chatting tea time.
And I think the next video we might talk about, because people always ask me, where should I go eat when I come to West Hollywood? And I think Ben and I will have a little discussion about where to eat when you're coming here whether you're coming from Orange County, the Valley, or traveling overseas.
Also a lot of...
Once you're in WeHo, where I recommend... I'm not going to spend tons of time on all the restaurants. I'm just going to give you my top 4 places I think you should try before you leave here.
Yes.
All right. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you the next time.
See you next time. Enjoy your drinks.